structure. Okay. Okay, so today we will be talking about routes, what routes are, and then we'll consider what views. All right. So what are routes in app? And just to bring to your notice, today too is going to be a very brief. We're just going to have a very brief time today. So like I said, so last time we did talk about the file structure of Laravel, the console, what the console contains, and exceptions, what the exception contains, then what the HTTP directory contains, and so on. And of course, the model. Then we talked about the providers, talked about this bootstrap and config files, and of course, database stuffs, including migrations, and then then we talked about the public folder, which I did told you that is the entry point of every Laravel app. Okay. Now, I think I spent a lot of time where I explained this rewrite rule. We only have one single page, all right? So each time a request comes in, so the Apache rewrite rule reroutes that request to this very particular page, or this very particular script all the time. All right, so with that, we are going to discuss the routers, or should I say routes? All right, so what are routes? Now, look at a home that is being built. Of course, each home has its doors, okay? Path that you take into some different rooms. All right, some paths can contain other subpaths. For example, now you have one main door with other sub doors inside inside the, should I say, a corridor, maybe a room. Probably you're like getting into the main building from the main house. And when you get to the main building, you have rooms. And inside that rooms, sorry, before you get into the room, you have what? You have another door that's leading to that room. Sometimes you may have to walk through a corridor, all right? And that corridor sometimes might have another door. And you get into that door, and before you get to the final destination, for example, the room, you still need to get through to another door. Now, this is how routing works in application. Now, like I said, each home have one entry route. Okay, it could be gates, all right? At least one entry route, okay? It can be different paths, but then of course we have one general route. So in this case, I have this. I did talk about this, where we have two different routes. So what this is the entry. So inside the entry, then we have another about, okay, that leads to another side. Then we can have something like this. Pages about, and of course, this is going to be valid. Index, okay. And I have to pause, then I should have another So now each time you're calling a view under a folder, so this is how you follow that. For example, you have a folder called pages, and inside the folder is a bleed file called index. So this is how you traverse to that, or should I say you access the index page. Use the dot connector. So here I'll just create another. Okay. So inside of pages, I just copy this and then paste inside of it. So yeah, so there we go. Now if I get down here, welcome to pages. All right. So let me launch this and see. Remember, so you can see, welcome to home. And go down to, let me just, spin some. Now we can choose to do something like slash. We have slash pages slash index. So this is still very fine. You can visit this guy. How do we just start something? So slash. So now you can navigate our app now. So you can see I can easily come down to about page and then go back. So now these things are called routes. If you come here, this is a route. It's just like addressing a namespace and accessing stuff from that namespace. Now Laravel is very rich in handling routes. If you do this in Laravel, especially this is not considered best design because route can always change. Of course, that is the point. You can always do something like and this at all time, and it shouldn't give you so much issues when things change. But this is still not a good design. So now, what's a good design in handling Laravel route? There's something we call route naming. All right, so in a case where each route is being named, and how do you name the route in Laravel? You use this. There are several ways to do this. Name, I can now say pages index. Now, this is for simplicity to make this looks almost the same. So nothing should change, everything should still work fine. But now let me show you something. This is not break, but this will break. You see? But let me show you something again. So I can just simply add some other stuff here. And maybe some other stuff. And everything should still break. No other pages should be open. You can see button. Something like that. Now you can see. But then this will also break. When I come to try to see access, it should also still break. Now, what is the magic way of keeping this thing in sync without actually breaking it? This is where route naming comes to play. Now, let me show you why this other approach to the bad. So you can see Laravel has this route helper function, and you can call it the route name. So this is why route name is essential. So that's a route name. Remember, this was still failing. All right, so this is still failing. Let me show you how it works. And of course, this too was ubiquity. If I click here now, you should see that it does not break. And I can do what? I can go back. I can move anywhere I want to move. I can move anywhere I want to move. Now I can modify these things as I want to, but my routes will still stay the same. Alright, so this is going to break. But if I come down here, oh sorry, I need to refresh for that to take effect. All right, so if I come here, you can see that the correct route has been created. All right, and if I come down to about pages, you can see that the correct route is accessed automatically. We can see here route pages or index on the web. So let me return. Let's see. All right, so you can see I can go down, trim this to write whatever nonsense I want to. That's it. So this is what I can choose. Let us, and I go down to PDDS. It still stays there. So the route helper function helps you to generate the dynamic link of a named route. This is why named route is much more important and of course really needed to write. Okay, can you ask a question?
Okay, sorry, I want to, this very page you are showing, I want to know which folder it is. I'm trying to check your tabs. I think it should be the web.php, but how do we find it on this Laravel documents?
Okay.
Like which folder?
Routes folder. Remember when I talked about the folder, Laravel folders?
Yeah.
So the route folder contains anything related to the route. So you can, I talked about the API routes, and I also did talk about the web. I also talked about the console and as well channels, where I told you that channels can be used for building WebSockets related stuff. So you can see routes that you have. Go to your routes, web.php. So you should be able to see that. Now, we continue. Now, each route can also contain parameters. Okay, imagine that you probably want to go to some dynamic route that you do not know in advance what the route will contain. For example, now you want to access an attribute, an article. You have maybe you have a site where your attributes are being stored in the database, right? And you want to access a particular article. So what you do is that you bind the article ID to a route params where you access. Now, how is route params hand or addressed in Laravel? Okay, so I'll just go back here. All right, so you can see. But let me show you before this. Let me show you something. I can access it like this. You should find it fine now. You can see. Can I get access to this in my application? Answer is yes. Can I make this option now? The answer is still yes. Now let me show you how to make a route, a proper route. optional params. So you can see missing required parameter. So there we go. Now, if we click on this, you can see that here. Okay, so you can see that it's not been found because we don't have such route. But a route can be made an outlet route while you're defining it. Now, you can access the route. So in Laravel, this stands for G. That so you can see we have this. So this is how to access the route params on your within your Laravel app. You can also have access to it via a controller. All right, so we have this to match this. And yes, let me show you how to bind value while you're using routes. So let's see if I'm bind. So I can see also dump this guy. You can see from buying. Now where is from buying from? And like can see the bank where the bank is. Okay. So you can also do this. So if you look at this, in that way you can also do this. Like I told you, it's very easy. So let's stop it now. Let me see, let's stop this. Take this one. Sorry about it. So what's the business? Can you hear me? Okay. Sorry about that. Ah, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes,
can
sir.
hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I am having a terrible network. I traveled to a rural area. So this should still work just normal, just the way it used to work. But then it's you're going to change this out. This is what it is. Just yep, should work now. That's it. So we go down to the index. Which is the index. So this another one. All right. So let's go to about here. That's the and then this. Okay. Uh, pages with dash params.
sorry, I'm having a very okay.
Okay. All right, so continue. Sorry. So, let me see that properly. This is required. So you have to factor these guys. Oh, yes. Yep. So we have this guy. So everything should go just exactly as it is, but now with much more organized way. So with this few concepts of route, you can add middlewares. So you can go and read about what middlewares are actually. But then if you still want to, hopefully there is still enough time, you can now get into that. I was thinking, okay, so from next week we start performing quick this thing. So let me just explain some few small stuff and okay. So just going to do that for now. Now, there are some certain things you can do with this. So, and the blade contains just a handful of other. Hello. Okay, fine now. All right, so the blade contains about some other juicy and nice stuffs, and of course, I already have a template on ground, so I would have loved to show you some of the blade helpers, also things you can do with the blade. But for now, let's just look at something. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. All right. So, like I was saying, so each of the view function contains a second parameter that takes variable into the view. For example, I want to pass in page title to the view. Um, Any index. I'll pass this out to any other view. Okay. But now I think I'll move this. We'll just move this one now. Let's use it as a test. Okay. So the route is not going to define. So for now, get rid of the routes. So before then, so you can see this in homepage. Hold on. So you can see about and this becomes homepage, and of course the index it becomes. Now let me show you how to change that. So you can see the title has already been homepage. So we continue now to come. It is, I mean, it's dynamic streams. All right, so if you look at this now, you can see pages index. Now, remember we gave you the name. All right, so we gave it here, pages index. And of course, when you come down here, you can see this. Now, when you come down to the home page, so you can see it is now being called index. You can see here. Then move on to some other place. About pages. I think I already showed you about. So now this is an example of how you share, or so how you send variable to a view in Laravel. And of course, there is a better way for you to do this. So imagine each time you are writing a program and you keep, putting stuff in the callback. All right. It doesn't really look nice. Okay. So I will still introduce you some other cool stuff. So we can abstract all of this and insert them in a class this function. All right. There are several ways we can do this, but some way you need to make it nice. So you can do like this. Let me just show you. I think so. We should have controller. No, we don't have a controller. So let's make the controller right now. Or let me call the pages controller. Now, what is the controller? Remember the other time where I told you? Where I told you that controller are just simple conventions to, or should I say, a class to interact with your app, like where your logic actually resides. Okay, it interacts both with your view and of course your model. Oh, sorry. So I have to comment about actions. So, yep, we have controller now. So which is controller? So I will have to. Now you call the function. All right, so you can see this. Which is controller at this is the class, and this is what the function. So if I come down here, if I don't have this now, look at what it's going to. Go back to the next page. You can see target class, which is controller. Pages controller. That's pages controller. Pages controller actually exists. That's the best. We'll just okay. You can comment these also now. It should be available now. So how are you the most direction? Okay. So let me change up to another approach. You know why it is not finding that, but the action does exist. Sorry, the class. Yeah. So, exactly. So index does not exist. And that was what I was waiting for.
Remember my level? But then, can we have another class? Well, we have another class. Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you now.
You can hear me.
Okay, yeah, we can.
So can we have another class by Sunday? So let me clarify this whole thing so we can complete this session and then move on to the next thing.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Okay,
okay
Sunday
with
is
that.
fine by me.